This is the 7.1 to 7.4 quiz review. I'm going to be doing the evens on this. All right, so for the first one, what we need to do, all we need to do is kind of like unwrap this like we were saying before. So we want to stick with the base. So I'm going to do something along the lines of just keeping the base of where it was. So the base looks something like that, right? And then I'm going to unfold the triangles. So I'm not going to be perfect, but and then I'm going to do the sides of it, which look to be like rectangles. And then all I have to do here is then label. So that'd be 12 centimeters. This is going to be 8 centimeters. To the base right here is going to be 14. And that looks to be it. And you can go all the way around it and label if you need to, but just making sure that you get one of each of the lines will be fine. All right, number 4, name a line that contains point E. We have E right here. So I could do line Q, or I could just use 2 of the points and just say BE or EB, just by flipping those. What is another name for line P? So this line right here. So besides being called line P, we can call it line DC. We can also call it line CD. So we just got to draw a label here, or draw in label. So we're drawing our own kind of figure. So this one, we just need to draw something that has a point K lies on line RT. So I'm just going to draw a line. And then I know that this has to be line RT, so I can put this one anywhere. I'll just label that K. So this would be point K lies on the line RT. While line YP lines in plane B and contains point C, but does not contain point H. So let's just draw a plane. All right, we'll just call that our plane, and we'll label it B in the corner. And then we have to do a line, and on that line is YP. So line YP lines in plane B and contains point C. So the line contains point C, but does not contain point H. So we could just do this. Or what we could do is just extend this line out so it's still on the line, but it's not in the plane. It really depends on what the directions are. How many planes are shown in the figure? So I see 1 here, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 6 to me. But I'll double count that again. So if I just draw it in, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. The bottom here is 4. We gotta remember there's a back side to this. Right there. That'd be all of this. Or I'm sorry, all of this. would be 5, and then this would be 6. Name 4 points that are coplanar, so on points that are on the same plane. So if I just look at, I just need to find a plane that has 4 points. So if I just look at, say, this plane right here, it's got 4 points, right? So I could say that points E, D, C, and B, because that would just be here, 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 and there. 16, use the number line to find each measure. So we want to find VW. VW is from here to here, and then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So it doesn't matter, again, where on the number line it is. We just want to know the length of it. And then ST, 1, 2, 3. Use the number line to find the coordinate of each midpoint of each segment. So RT, so this line right here, we need to find the middle of it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So obviously the middle would be the third one. So 1, 2, 3. That would be point S. All right, and then ST here. So ST is going to be 1, 2, 3 points. So what I would need to do, since it's between 1 and 4, what's the middle point of 1 and 4? That would be 2.5. So there's no specific point, but we know that 2.5 would be right in the middle of S and T. All right, solve for X. So I know that this right here tells me that SU is equal to 14, right? So if I take a smaller chunk plus a smaller chunk, I can have it equal to the big chunk, or the whole thing. So I would do X plus 10 plus the second chunk, which is X plus 14. It's going to be equal to 14. So then on the left side, I combine my like terms. It would be 2x plus 24 is equal to 14. And then I do minus 24 on each side. So I'll get 2x is equal to negative 14. And let me just double check that. It's early in the morning. This would be negative 10. Sorry about that. That's why you use a calculator and you check your work. And then if I divide by 2 on each side, x is going to be equal to negative 2. And again, you can go back and plug that in. Now remember, this said just solve for S. It might say solve for ST. It might say solve for TU. And then it might say solve for the entire thing. So what you need to do there is you would need to plug in your x's. Find the length of C to A. So again, this is the whole thing here. So if this chunk is 8 and this chunk is x minus 6, so plus x minus 6, I can set that equal to the whole thing, which is equal to negative 8 plus 2x. So then I can just solve for x here. So, but first I got to combine the like terms on my left-hand side. So it's going to be x plus 2 is equal to negative 8 plus 2x. I'm going to minus x on each side. So I'll get 2 is equal to negative 8 plus x. I'm going to add 8 to each side. So then x is going to be equal to 10. No, but this is not my final answer. Because what I need to do is, I need to plug it in to find out what CA is. That's this whole length right here. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to plug it into that equation down there. So it will be negative 8 plus 2 times 10. So negative 8 plus 20 is going to equal 12. So your very final answer should say CA is equal to 12. That's your final answer. All right, solve for what is indicated. So if x, or find x, so that's what we're trying to do, find x. If measure FBC, so FBC is equal to 77. So that's going to be 77 right there. Measure ABC, the whole thing, is going to be equal to 14x plus 3. And then measure ABF is going to be equal to 3x plus 14. Now this is very similar to what we're doing with line segments, except for this is angles. I know that if I add, or that this is one angle, sorry, that's way too big. Let's see, I know that, right? No, I didn't want to do that. I know that this right here is half of it, right? And I know that this right here is half of it, and it equals this whole thing. So if I take this plus this, I'll get the entire thing. So I got to solve for x. So I'm going to take my first small angle right here, which is 3x plus 14. Then I'm going to add my smaller angle right here, plus 77, and that's going to be equal to, again, this whole thing. So that's going to be 14x plus 3. So then I just got to solve this. First, I got to combine my like terms on my left-hand side. So 3x, and then 14 plus 77. Is going to be equal to 91. It's equal to 14x plus 3. Okay, so then from here, just simple algebra. Sorry, I forgot the x right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minus 3x on each side. So I'll have 91 is equal to 11x plus 3, minus 3 on each side. And I'll have 88 is equal to 11x. Divide each side by 11, and I'll get x is equal to 8. And that's actually your final answer. But if I wanted to, I could plug that in, right, over here, knowing that x is equal to 8. I could find out what this angle is. I could find out what this angle is. Although that one's already given, because that one equals 77. And then once I found out what this angle right here is, I would add these two, and I could get the whole ABC angle. And that is the review. So, again, if you have any questions, email me. Let me know that you need some help. All right, thanks. Have a good one.